The short attention span national press has tunnel vision on a team down south that quote unquote won the offseason, completely ignoring that the Dodgers could very well win the actual regular season. Good morning, I'm James of Faithful Angelino Sports, and this is a 2023 Dodgers season preview. If you enjoyed talking about the boys in blue, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We talk Dodgers baseball here virtually every single day. Now, the first thing I want you to know is the Dodgers are every bit the threat to win the NL West that they always have been. That has not been said enough over the last couple of months because of the fact that the Padres just threw money out of a helicopter and just blanketed, carpet bombed every free agent they could find with that money. And meanwhile, having said that, the Dodgers let a lot of players go. So let's take a look at the players that the Dodgers let go. And you tell me how much of a loss that actually is. Now, we would agree that losing Trea Turner, yeah, that definitely stings. No doubt. I will grant you that. But after that, you have to be honest with yourselves. Remove the emotion from some of these players that you've been attached to. Cody Bellinger, no matter how much people liked him, toward the end of his Dodgers career was an automatic out. Justin Turner is at the latter side of his 30s, and Father Time is undefeated. Craig Kimbrell started more fires than an arsonist in the Sierra Nevadas. Ask yourself, do you miss Andrew Heaney? Do you miss Tyler Anderson? Do you even remember that Joey Gallo was on the team at all? Exactly. So with the exception of Turner, it's difficult for me to say that losing those players is damaging. And it's even far more difficult for me to say a team that has a nucleus of Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, Will Smith, Julio Urias, and Clayton Kershaw is about to get steamrolled. Sorry, I don't buy that. I really don't. The other reason for skepticism is that teams that quote-unquote win the offseason very rarely win the actual season. You could argue that San Diego now has a deeper lineup. Okay, I can concede that. But what you would have to concede in response, I would suggest, is which team is more prepared for a pressure situation. Because you're looking at players with the Dodgers who've won titles. You're looking at Mookie Betts. You're looking at Freddie Freeman. You're looking at a lot of players who have. The Padres, on the other hand, have a bunch of very immature people in their lineup. Fernando Tatis Jr. can't even start the season on the team because he was immature. Does Manny Machado strike you as an elder statesman, ready to lead and show people how to be professional? Of course not. And then you're talking about Juan Soto, who, granted, we all think the world of Juan Soto's long-term prospects, but he did stink up the joint last year. Is that a signal? Is that a harbinger? You tell me. It is possible. So the point I'm getting at is this. Why is it that the Dodgers have something to prove, but San Diego doesn't? Are we falling for a narrative here that's been pushed by the national press? I would argue that it has. Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that just like last year, the Dodgers are going to win way more than 100 games. I think they're going to win in the mid to upper 90s, and that's going to be more than enough to get them in the playoffs. Let's take a look at the lineup. We start off with the leadoff role. There was a lot of chatter about moving Mookie Betts down from leadoff because, after all, he's a 5-tool player, and one of those tools is hitting for power, possibly getting Betts some more RBI opportunities. Unfortunately, nobody claimed the mantle of leadoff hitter. Having said that, you could do a lot worse than having Mookie Betts lead off. You could make a strong argument that Mookie Betts is one of the top 3 players in the game, right up there with Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. After that, I would suggest that you're probably looking at Freeman in the 2-hole. His game is pretty complete, except that he lacks the speed that Trey Turner had. Remember, Turner had the 2 spot last year. You can definitely envision Will Smith in the number 3 spot in the lineup, and you can also envision the words best catcher in the game being applied to Will Smith. See, where so far are we sitting there saying the Dodgers are in trouble? We're not there yet. Max Muncy in the 4, perhaps JD Martinez at the 4. Or you can flip them. One going 4, one going 5. You can't look at those top 5 hitters and feel bad. I will grant you 6 through 9, you do have to start asking questions. And then you have to start asking about platoons, which would be more effective. Maybe rookie slugger Miguel Vargas is the most stable of the bunch. Where does he go? Does he go as high as 6? Does they drop him down to 8? Miguel Vargas probably could be the 8th or the 9th hitter. And by the way, Gavin Lux, who is out for the year, yeah, it sounded painful, but if you remember, he was consistently batting 8th and 9th in last year's lineup. So he would have had to have had a breakout season this year in order to justify all the hype that he could have been getting during the offseason. That leaves 2 outfield spots in the lineup. Both spots, left field and center, are going to be platoon roles. In center field, it's going to be Trace Thompson versus left-handed pitchers, James Outman versus righties. In left field, it's probably David Peralta and Chris Taylor. So if I were to look at the lineup, I'm saying to myself, solid 1 through 5. All-star level 1 through 5. Competent after that. The rotation is Julio Urias, who is a Cy Young threat, Dustin May, Hall of Famer Clayton Kershaw, Noah Syndergaard, and currently Ryan Pepiot. And by the way, the Dodgers have the top farm system in baseball, with a bevy of starting pitchers just itching for a chance to break into that rotation. The bullpen is in a bit of flux in that they don't have a defined closer. And I acknowledge that San Diego does have a defined closer, absolutely. So let's get to the bottom line. We've briefly discussed the offseason, the lineup, the rotation, the bullpen. Let's put that all into the blender and see what we got. Analysts see the Dodgers as an above-average team across the board. I think, with the exception of the Colorado Rockies, the NL West is a surprisingly strong division. People have been talking a lot about the Padres. People are forgetting that the San Francisco Giants are a very deep baseball team. And they're also forgetting that the Arizona Diamondbacks are just loaded to the gills with young talent. If the Dodgers have the number 1 farm system, which they typically do, Arizona is not that far behind. Maybe as high as 3rd. Right behind Baltimore. So, the Padres offseason probably cost the Dodgers a few wins. I would argue that the depth in San Francisco and that just the youthful energy of Arizona will probably cost the Dodgers a couple of wins. It is easy to sit there and say this team is not going to match the 110 plus wins of last year. I'm angling towards upper 90s. It is also easy to look at the Dodgers roster and ask yourself, where is the elite shortstop? I buy into the idea that the Dodgers are loaded to make blockbuster moves. Maybe they get an elite shortstop in the summer trading deadline. Maybe it happens in the offseason. We don't know yet. But I see the fair question about shortstop. I just don't think it's a death blow to the team. I think the Dodgers have a 50-50 shot at winning the division. I think the panic has been simply because the Dodgers aren't an automatic lock to win the division. Lock to win the division, 50-50 shot at winning the division. I can live with that, especially after all of the losses during the offseason and the roster. In order to be World Series contenders, I don't see it with this current roster. There are going to have to be moves to be made. But who do you think is better positioned to make summer trades? The Dodgers or the Padres? The Padres, who gutted their entire minor league farm system last year to acquire Juan Soto. The Padres, who basically spent, I think it was almost $1 billion in offseason contracts. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not fooling me, national press. The Dodgers remain every bit the threat to win the NL West that they have been for the past decade. Guarantee it? No. Legit threat? Oh, absolutely. You let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know if you think I'm giving a little bit too much hopium to the masses who will be filing through the aisles at Chavez Ravine tonight. And if you enjoyed talking Dodger baseball, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. We talk LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelinos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.